You are about to enter the courtroom of
Judith.
The people are real. The cases are real. The rulings are final. This is
Judith.
The court will now hear arguments on February 17, 1788, for Case 73-182, Henry v. Hamilton. You, Patrick Henry, alongside John Hancock, both anti-federalists, believe that you will sustain reasonable damages if this Constitution is ratified. James Madison and Alexander Hamilton, both federalists, are here to argue against that. We'll start with the plaintiff. Mr. Henry, why do you believe you will sustain damages if this Constitution is in fact ratified?
The Constitution was proposed to define a new set of government rules as a replacement for the Articles of Confederation. In the Articles, more power is given to the states, an effort to avoid the tyranny experienced when controlled by the British. The government proposed by the Constitution sounds to me like an authoritarian government that feels similar to that of England when they controlled us. We just battled to gain our freedoms from the tyrannical monarchy of Britain. You are unpatriotic to propose a system so similar to that we just escaped from.
The Constitution allows for there to be a centralization of government. The nation as a whole can make decisions. During the Revolutionary War, had the powers been more centralized, the war would have been won much more easily with far fewer American men in graves. Also, like James Madison says in Federalist 10, if the Constitution is ratified, this would allow for there to be a government capable of controlling the violence and damage caused by factions.
All the delegated powers specifically established in the Constitution to the federal government, give the national government too much power. Why should we sign this new agreement if it puts the country at risk of tyranny once again?
Without a strong federal government, we cannot collect taxes. We need a centralized government to be able to trade with other countries. The foreign policy of this new nation could end up being some of the most important policy we make. Is each state then expected to conduct trade individually? I think not. If only for the reason of common foreign policy, these states must be unified. America could become a strong leader in foreign affairs, but a strong, centralized government is needed.
There are parts of this Constitution that give the government almost unlimited power. The necessary and proper clause is worded so ambiguously that it will surely be abused and overused by Congress. To make laws governing everything under the sun and infringing on the rights of the regular people this country was built to protect. I am a populist, Your Honor. I care about the ordinary people and their needs. A strong centralized government will take away the powers and freedoms from the everyday man.
Do you wish to have a government that cannot act when it needs to? Do you wish to have a state that is powerless when we're getting invaded? Because either the French or the British will try to invade us. You know those colonizers will try to take our land.
Yeah, I hate those colonizers, always stealing our land. We already fought one war.
I'm an anti-federalist, and I know for a fact that
Order in the court. I will not have such rash comments thrown around my court of law. Anti-federalists, do you have a response?
This is outrageous. To think we just trounced them in a full-scale war and they'd come back and attack us again? Also, as James Madison said, if tyranny and oppression come to this land, it will be in guise of fighting a foreign enemy. It seems you are using that excuse to seize more power.
This nation was built on individualism and self-governing. I am a citizen of Virginia first and foremost, and a citizen of America second. Putting power and greed over loyalty and freedom is not an acceptable form of government.
So, you think that the Articles of Confederation can stand as is for the rest of this great new nation's life? That's preposterous. The Articles don't even give enough power to the central government to take down a ragtag band of poor pig farmers like with Shays' Rebellion. Don't you want George Washington to have the means he needs to keep the peace?
At least give us some credit here. We made sure both the Virginia plan, which proposed representation based on population, and the New Jersey plan, which proposed equal representation, got their fair say in our new legislature. The Connecticut Compromise is nothing short of genius. It stated that the House of Representatives would be based on population and the Senate would be based on representation, allowing both smaller and larger states to be appeased. Similarly, we see compromise in the Three-Fifths Compromise, which allowed slaves to be counted as 3/5 of a person. This will be nothing like the monarchy we fled from. Balance between the House and the Senate and their respective state interests will end up making sure no rash tyrannical decisions are made.
Yeah. Bring up the Connecticut Compromise like you always do. It won't help this time. Just because you made one little deal doesn't mean that you get to say how our country is run. Your Constitution would put the citizens' natural rights in danger of being infringed upon. We need limited government with strong state sovereignty. if we want a government free from corruption and tyranny.
We will give you a compromise with the Bill of Rights. This will ensure that the people's rights are still protected. You say you can't have it to keep freedoms, but the Bill of Rights does more to protect individual freedoms and civil liberties than everything in the Articles of Confederation had put together.
Okay, after hearing both sides go back and forth on this issue, I think I'm now ready to issue a verdict. The Anti-Federalists have a good case, and their ideas about the new government should be taken very seriously. However, the need this land has shown for someone to take charge is overwhelming. The inability to fix even the smallest problems due to infighting and overly intricate processes will lead to this country's death. The Constitution must be implemented. But because of the clear fundamental need for civilian freedom, the Constitution will adapt a Bill of Rights which will help to guarantee civilians' individual freedoms from being infringed upon by the new government.